Hey guys, welcome back to Blended the Podcast. I'm Destiny.
I'm Sierra.
We are so excited. And we have a guest here today, Gabrielle. She's the founder and owner of Love Gigi Events. She's going to share her journey about how she opened her business and give us some insight on how events can be a great way to market your business. So, Gabby, tell us a little bit about how you got into this, what inspired you to open this business.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. So basically, I got married back in 2020. I was a COVID bride. I wasn't planning my wedding in COVID. Luckily, I got engaged in 2019, and then I was going to get married in May of 2020. I also graduated college in April of 2020 as well.
Oh
So
my
I
gosh.
graduated. I was about to get married, going into the workforce. I did not know what I wanted to do at all. I was like, oh my gosh, push comes to shove, like, what do I do? But my parents own a real estate company. So I grew up in an entrepreneurial home. So I knew I always wanted to own a company. I just didn't know what. So I planned and designed my whole wedding. I had so much fun. I did it with my mom, who I am now in business with. She's my director of operations.
Love that.
And my dad is my props builder. So we're a little family company.
I love
Yeah, it's
that.
really
Yeah.
fun. But basically, planned my wedding, had so much fun. We had a lot of great feedback from our vendors on social media. Everyone was like, oh my gosh, like, I want this, I want that, whatever, like that we did. And so my wedding photographer was like, you should get into this. And I was like, I don't even know what wedding design is, never heard of it. So I ended up having a meeting with her and we talked about it. And my mom was the one who was like, let's do this. And I was like, okay, lady, let's go. So
That just gave me chills.
I love that.
You have a supportive family.
yeah, I have such a supportive family, and this business would be nothing without my parents, to be honest. So they've put so much money into it for me. They've pushed me to do, they've always pushed me to do things that I believe in and they believe in me. So yeah,
I love that. I'm curious, what did you go to school for?
business.
Okay,
So
business.
business
Oh,
and professional
business as
leadership.
well.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like hearing stories of what people's kind of intentions were.
Mhm.
I personally always wanted to go to hair school, but I went to college for a semester and was like, no. And then she did business degree, which
I did
is great
supervision and
'cause it-
management.
Okay.
And I graduated in 2022.
Oh
So
my
that's crazy.
gosh.
And because of COVID, I was like, oh God, I don't know. And then I started my
Yes.
business.
Oh my
Yeah. So same,
Okay.
same.
Love that.
That's, yeah. So
I thought I
definitely
wanted to
relate.
be in medical sales.
Oh
I
my
wanted
God.
to.
Okay, so different.
Right. So I thought I was
I mean,
either going to be
marketing.
in fashion or fashion buying. I almost went to school for fashion, but I didn't. I graduated early and I didn't want to leave all my family and friends yet. And so I thought I was going
just
to
go to New York for something.
I was in New York for a couple photo shoots for my company, but then I went
Oh,
to
okay.
Barcelona for Bridal Fashion Week.
Okay,
Nice.
okay.
Yeah. But I thought I was going to be in fashion. And then I also thought I was going to do pharmaceutical sales or open a med spa. And it just didn't work out. And I was like, what am I going to do? I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I got married and had the time of my life. I literally was at my wedding and I was up on the balcony, looking over everyone dancing. And I was like, this is what I meant to do. It sounds so tacky or cheesy, but I was like,
moody.
I literally found myself at my wedding. I was like, this is
I literally
exactly what I
got
meant
It's
to do.
also so magical because
It is.
me and Sierra actually met in the wedding industry, and there's so many brides who don't have that moment
Right.
of enjoyment
Right.
because it was just
Overwhelming.
yeah,
Yeah.
chaos. So I love that you were able to be this is what a wedding should be like,
Yeah.
and I want to share this with other brides so that
Yeah.
they can have this moment where they're
Right.
at their wedding and
Exactly.
they're this is everything that I wanted it to be and more.
Right.
That's so awesome.
You have a big event coming up.
Yes.
You want to share a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I went to Barcelona Bridal Fashion Week. We were invited to go, which is
That's
insane.
insane.
It was literally
insane.
a dream. I literally, when we got invited, I just was sobbing my eyeballs out. It was amazing. But basically, we decided that we wanted to do the first ever Jacksonville Bridal Fashion Show. I went to New York in March to do some photo shoots for our company. And I was like, it was right around New York Fashion Week. And I was like, wait, New York Fashion Week also has New York Bridal Fashion Week. Why don't we have that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why doesn't Jacksonville have one of those? So basically, I was like, let's start one. So there's a lot of conventions in Jacksonville. So we have bridal conventions and expos and stuff like that. But for us and the vendors that we work with, we feel like we don't gain clients from that, or it's not our clientele. And every time I talk to somebody about it, they completely understand. And we call them bridal show brides, not to be.
They're looking for the best deal.
They are,
Yes.
and that's fine. There's
that's
nothing
not-
wrong with that, and it works for some people, but
Not
for
your ideal
people,
client.
right?
Yeah.
And for
Yep.
people in the industry who curate almost everything that they do and are so inspiring, and so it's kind of a diss to us because it's like you go to these expos and everybody just wants like a one-stop shop, and they just want to spend $10,000 to get florals, catering, bar, whatever. And it's kind of, like I said, a diss to us where you curate almost every single piece and you put together a whole entire team who does what they do very good.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of just that opportunity to showcase what each person can do in a new way, I guess. So
I love that.
yeah.
And you made it fun.
yeah,
Like
we
you,
don't have
you
a
made it an
fashion show.
event for us
Yeah.
to all get dressed up, go to something exciting. Like we're really definitely missing that.
And it's beautiful too because like you knew your ideal client, which we talk about all the time. Like ideal client is the most
Right.
important part of your business.
Yeah.
Because if you're talking to everyone, you're talking to no one. So you
Mhm.
knew your ideal client. You're like, I'm a luxury service and my ideal client is not at the beauty expo. So
Right.
how can I cater to them? And something wasn't out there. So you created it.
Yeah.
And I love that. It's just super inspiring that, it's really easy to look at what other people are doing
Right.
and try to make that part of your business. But that's not necessarily what you need to do. Sometimes you have to create what you need.
Yeah.
So that is going to be huge for the
If-
wedding industry. I'm super excited.
I'm really
for it.
excited too.
And I
So-
feel like the wedding industry in Jacksonville is like taking off. I think they said that this year
There's-
was like projected to be the biggest wedding year.
really?
Yeah, last year they were talking about it.
I love how I'm in the industry.
You're like, what?
yeah.
Yeah. And I know, like, even from doing weddings before, like, there's also so many, like, destination brides. So,
Mhm.
like, planning out a wedding for someone who has no idea, like, what to expect
Right.
coming here, which is so funny because I'm like, it's just funny to me that, like, Jacksonville is a destination, like, area.
It's weird.
Yeah,
but I
it's-
get
But I think it's because it's like Jacksonville,
St.
Amelia
Augustine,
Island, St.
yeah.
Augustine, and we're
Yeah.
so close to Jekyll that
Yeah.
it's like, and then all the
Airports,
vendors are
too.
here in Jax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And something that's different about the show that isn't at an expo is there's not going to be any booths. So it starts out with a cocktail hour. So it's a black tie event, which is already different.
Yeah.
You're getting to see all the vendors in action, which you don't get to see at a booth or like at the conventions. So it'll be cocktail hour and then 4 bridal shows. All of the dresses that they're showcasing are new, like it's new inventory.
Oh, I love that.
And then there will be an after party or like social hours. So all of the vendors will have a vendor lanyard and you can go up and talk to them, say, I really like what you did. Like, can we talk? If a
Love
vendor
that.
isn't comfortable doing that, that's okay because they were on the program. They were listed on our backdrops. Like they're involved and there's only one of each vendor as well. Our goal is to have someone come to us and say, can you plan my wedding? I want everyone at that. Or pick and choose who they liked from the show. So the
love
show's
that.
supposed to happen every year. So every year will
love
be
that.
like a different theme, different vendors. Yeah.
I
So
love
we
that.
actually got connected because Gabby reached out to me to model for the fashion show. And another reason why I was just like, I really like this girl is because you're having a plus size bridal like dress shop there, which like when I got married, I ordered online because
Yeah.
I was like, I just didn't feel comfortable like going into a store and
Right.
like not having a dress. I knew there was, they like literally like pin it in front of you. And it's just
Yeah.
like, there's
What?
just, it's
Like when you
because
try
I
on
didn't even know
dresses.
that.
yeah, they like just kind of like pin it on the
Yeah.
front because they don't have like the dress size. So I love that like you're being like inclusive.
It's so important.
It is. It really, really
Yeah.
is. Yeah. Because I feel like I really missed out on that experience of like wedding dress shopping and like
That's so
really
sad.
finding like the perfect dress because I
Yeah.
was just like, just gonna order something, like take measurements and like
Yeah.
order something online, So
Well, even like the bridal dress shop. So like Story, who is in the show, they do bridesmaids dresses.
Mhm.
So they even have a curvy line. So
nice.
we'll
I
be
didn't
doing
realize that.
Story and Curve, who is their
Nice.
own bridal shop. And the manager from Love, who is also connected to Curve, was like, I'm so thankful that you're doing this because there's just not a lot of representation in the curvy bridal
There is
industry.
not.
And it's so sad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad she was happy, but it broke my heart at how like she was so appreciative.
Yeah.
The fact that we were like even thinking to include.
And you know what's so sad
curvy.
about that too is like I just got chills again because that's the day that a woman is supposed to feel her most
Absolutely.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And for the industry that's supposed to be working to make women feel special to basically diss them and make them feel like an outcast and they're not good enough
Right.
Yeah.
is not okay.
Yeah.
So it's
weird.
amazing that you're doing
Thank
that.
Yeah, I love that.
Especially for your first show, girl.
I mean, it's like it was a no-brainer, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I am friends and know so many different people with so many different shapes, colors,
Yeah.
sizes. Like why would we not?
Yeah.
Why would we think to only
Right.
have someone who's a 00?
Right.
And I mean, I have been in have modeled a lot locally. I've been signed to a couple agencies and I've even been told if I was any bigger, I would be curvy.
Yeah.
They told me that when I
they
was
told-
young and I was
right.
modeling. And then I did a lot of bridal modeling like a couple years ago.
And because I was short, that I didn't have, or like if I was an inch bigger in my butt, that I would be like considered curvy or whatever. And I was like, why can't I just be petite and be me and be like, why? Like, and he literally told me, you're lucky you're pretty because you have nothing else going for you. And I
They
was
told
like,
me it was my face.
yeah,
They were like, you're lucky, you're
he
pretty.
said, you're lucky you're pretty.
Because you're pretty.
Yeah.
But that's actually something like me and another girlfriend were talking about, like the stigma behind like weight in general and how people like, but you're so beautiful. And it's like,
wait, what?
I never
But
didn't
but
think-
yeah, but you're
like
so
it's a backhanded
But also, it's
compliment.
like, I never didn't think I was beautiful. Just
Yeah.
because I'm not like your like, okay. Just because I'm not your like typical size doesn't mean that I'm not beautiful. Like, I
gosh.
never said I wasn't like anyway.
When I saw you on social media, I was like, I need her. She's
Oh my God, you're
stunning.
so sweet.
I literally saw you.
I'm like, why does everyone ask me to model?
And I literally, we
You're
had this
so
we had
beautiful.
this conversation. And I remember she was on the phone. She was like, I don't understand why everybody asked me to model. And I was like, because you're fucking beautiful.
Yeah, you're literally gorgeous. I
And
mean,
she
you're
was like,
absolutely
"Thank you."
stunning as well.
Thank you. But she was like, really? And I was like, girl, stop. Shut up.
Just own it.
Yeah, she does
Just
own
own
it, but
it.
she
You
has her
do.
moments.
I do. I
Yeah,
really
She knows
everybody
she's
does.
cute.
Yeah.
She knows she's
Don't let her fool you.
Oh my gosh.
love it.
So, wedding industry is obviously like very stressful. This
Yes.
is someone's like most important day. You know, I
Yes.
can't even imagine some of the things that you've gone through. What are kind of some of the resources or like tips that you've come up with to kind of like navigate getting through those obstacles
Yeah.
and like dealing with like the fires that you might have?
Yeah. So I was enrolled at the New York Institute of Art and Design to get my wedding planning certificate. And that course was really helpful. So there's actually no like right or wrong thing to do in the wedding industry because there's not like a school that's like,
Sure.
it's not a
This is, like,
degree.
right,
It's not like
right.
you have it
It's
or
like
you
an advanced
don't.
class
Yeah.
to just learn a
Yeah,
little
you
bit
kind
more.
of just have it or you don't, or you learn how to do it. But basically, I decided to get certified so that we were more like, you know, legitimate. And
People
I
love
wanted to
see the
know.
certificates
Yeah.
and yeah.
And
Yeah.
New York Institute of Art and Design is backed by a very well-known wedding community.
Mhm.
So yeah, I got my degree, my certificate, my degree in wedding planning.
Mhm.
But they gave a lot of great insight on how to put out those fires or like to not be a stressor. Because essentially, like I am the middleman. Like if mom is mad and the bride and the groom, you know, want something that mom doesn't, like how are we
Yeah.
gonna figure that out? So
Yeah.
they gave
Yeah.
a lot of great tips. And honestly, you really are just kind of like the middleman. And you just have to stick to what you know and say, like, well, this could you can't tell them no, essentially. Like you never want to say, ew, your idea is bad. Even though like a lot of times I want to be like, no, we're not
Yeah.
doing that. Like you're
Absolutely
paying
not.
me, we're not doing that. My mom hears plenty of that. But yeah, so I mean, it's kind of just telling them, oh, your idea is great, but it doesn't always work the best like that. Maybe we can find some way around it.
Mhm.
Or, you know, just kind of giving alternatives and trying to use what they want
Yeah.
just in a different way.
yeah.
Do you have any like, I don't know, like systems in place or kind of like process for onboarding that kind of like make things easier? Like, for example, I know like for me with new clients, like I have a form they fill
Mhm.
out. Like, do you have stuff like that
Yeah.
kind of makes like your process and like organization like easier?
Yeah,
For
so-
someone who's like wanting to get into this. you
Yeah.
know?
So basically, we use Aisle Planner, which is an amazing like website that we track all of our clients through. So they inquire on our website. We get their whole inquiry form, which has like all the questions like budget, what you're looking for, your wedding date, kind of the vibe, an opportunity for them to literally just word vomit everything. And then we email them, meet up with them. Well, we have a phone call with them, see if it's a good fit. Because just as much as, we do want clients, we also have to make sure it's a good fit for us because not all
Absolutely.
business is good business.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So just making sure that, they fit our, I don't want to say standards, but expectations and
Yeah.
standards. And then if it works and they're down for it, then we meet up with them in person and we propose all of our ideas and we kind of go from there and see what happens. But
It's so nice too, like having parents that are entrepreneurs because
Yeah.
like you have that backbone of like,
They've been
they
through
already have
things
successful
and-
business. They
Yeah.
know what to expect, what
Gosh,
not
it's
to expect,
amazing.
what boundaries. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Like in
think
any business, you're gonna run into
right.
those things.
Yeah, my mom does all the things I'm afraid of with
Yeah.
like insurance and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I'm like, you got it, girl.
Like,
That's
I
her
just
bread and
wanna make
butter,
things
though.
pretty.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm the creative person. You like
You're
to.
like, I want to make the fairy tale
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
She does all of our admin work.
Now that we've like covered wedding, bridal, everything else, I heard from
Yes.
Destiny that you actually do even more
Yes.
with events.
I do.
So what else do you
I'm
do?
like super interested about your like photo shoot planning, which
Okay.
by the way,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, she sent over these headshots.
Oh,
like,
I loved your
bomb.
headshots,
thank
girl.
you guys.
Literally
I was so ready to take
Yes.
those pictures too. I was
that in New York. Or was
no,
that here?
it was
No,
here.
that was here. I
It
know
was
the
that luxury
studio.
point.
Yeah.
Luxury point's
Oh,
amazing. Shout
downtown?
out. Yes.
Yes.
Oh my god,
I
those
love
were
them.
Gorgeous.
Thank you.
Like,
yeah.
so
I've seen
cute.
their set before, but it wasn't like I liked their set, but it was like how you showed up.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Badass.
Wow. I
Like,
love
so
that.
good.
You looked great, girl.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
good.
Okay, so yeah, tell us all the
So anything, I say this and it's so tag or like cheesy, but anything you can celebrate, we can decorate.
I love that.
I have always said that and I think it's so stupid, but it's fine. But basically, really anything you can celebrate or party, like we can do. So basically, we do a lot of birthdays, we do a lot of baby showers, bridal showers, bachelorette parties, anniversaries, launch parties. We're actually doing a launch party in August in San Antonio, Texas.
Oh.
So yeah, it's
She's
a jewelry.
catching flights.
I am.
I
It's
love
exciting.
that.
I want to be a destination anyway, so it works. But I mean, we can do anything. And we've done a couple branding photo shoots before, which is really fun. Because like I said before, I've been in the modeling industry. I love photo shoots.
Yes.
I love photo shoots.
Me too.
I don't shy away from a good photo.
No.
So I think it's so fun to like be creative in that aspect because a lot of times, well, not everybody is comfortable in front of a camera. And I get that, but you want to like feel your most confident. You want to look good.
Mhm.
And when you aren't that confident in front of a camera, you're very nitpicky about your photos.
Mhm.
Yes.
And I do see it with my mom, love her dearly, but I see it firsthand. And so it's an opportunity for us to make them feel just as special as if you were getting married or having a
Right.
birthday party or whatever.
I
So,
love that that's why you do that because that's actually why I got into doing hair and makeup. Is
Yeah.
because of how it makes people feel.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And then you literally present different when you
Right.
feel confident.
you do.
Yeah.
So I love that too.
It
Yeah,
changes
and
the
we-
whole vibe.
We did a branding shoot at the beginning of like our launch, and I mean, it was just a game changer being able to have that content
Mhm.
Yeah.
and like just show that empowerment.
Right.
And it was so much fun.
Yeah.
So how would you say like having those photo shoots, having those launch parties, like are great marketing tips like for a business? Like
Yeah.
what have you seen it do,
Yeah.
for businesses that you've worked with?
It's really important. I mean, obviously having a photo shoot to show who you are is important because you need headshots, but you also don't want like a boring headshot. You want something that shows who you are,
Right.
especially if you own your own business.
Yeah, it's
You
2023.
really
We're
want
not doing that anymore.
Yeah, there's so many people in each career too. Like there's so many wedding planners. So like what makes you
Stand out.
different? Yeah,
Yes.
and what makes you you? With parties, it's a great way to show your clients like you care.
Mhm.
And it's a great way for your clients to see how much you care. So, and it also shows who you are and what you have to offer and why you're different. And it shows that you want to build that relationship with people and that gives them a reason to come back. So
yeah.
I think it's really important to have those parties and to showcase who you are because everybody's different. So why not capitalize on that?
Absolutely.
Ooh.
And I love too
Yeah.
how
Go
you
on.
brought up like showing who you are because like majority of our listeners are creative. They're in
Right.
the beauty
Yeah.
industry, whatever. And so
Right.
I think it is important to just like I've literally had people multiple, I can think of like probably 5 right now that literally told me when I went to your website and I saw your photo that you have there, I was like, oh my gosh, she looks like someone that I would want to do my hair.
I love
because
that.
I'm smiling and I'm not just like standing there.
Yeah.
And it does just like show that representation and not
Yeah.
just even of you as a person, but if you have like brick and mortar, like of your space
Right.
or of the products you're selling
Right.
or, behind the scenes, kind of like shots, client experience,
What
and
you
like getting
offer.
getting all of those as well. And then it's easy. Like, I think probably one of the hardest things about owning a business is like content, posting
Mhm.
on social media,
Oh
like
my gosh, it's
keeping
hard.
a website updated, all of that. So like having that shoot in the beginning,
Mhm.
getting all those photos that you can
Yeah.
kind of recycle and use
Right.
and still stay cohesive so that you have your brand, so that when people see those photos, it's like you already know, like
Yeah.
this is them
Yeah.
because of like the consistency that you
Right.
have from having a professional. And I
Right.
think it's cool too because it's like if you're not good at organizing those kind of things, like we've talked, like you have to spend money to make money.
Yes.
And it's okay to hire out for things that you're not comfortable doing and like you don't know how to do. And it takes stress off too because
Yeah.
time is also money.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's like what is important for me to do and what is important for an expert to do.
Yeah. I know that you plan events, weddings, all these things. What services specifically do you offer to not only your brides and things like that, but say like to business owners
Yeah.
that could benefit?
Well, launch parties are amazing.
Yeah.
Designing a launch party, that's exactly what I'm doing in August with our client who she's starting a jewelry brand. It's an
Nice.
e-commerce jewelry brand. And so she's having a launch party to show what she's been working on. And we also do the photo shoots, which is important to, like you said, be cohesive. That's a huge thing for us as well, is making sure everything is cohesive because it doesn't make sense. I'm going to go back to weddings, but it doesn't make sense to have a backyard wedding with barbecue, but then make everyone dress black tie. That just isn't cohesive.
Yeah.
That makes no sense. So kind of just making sure everything is cohesive, making sure their brand is showcased, what they offer is showcased. I mean, it's really customizable. I'm honestly open to doing anything because I'm also still new in the industry.
Sure.
I love supporting small businesses and women-owned businesses. We're all in this together kind of
Yeah.
thing. So I love being able to be creative with people and
Yeah.
kind of guide them in a direction that best suits them.
Yeah.
Well, and I feel like a launch party is so important. And I'm going to say this strongly because we've been putting off our launch party for so long. But I will say, like,
We're getting
life
glares.
so crazy.
It
Like,
really has.
literally, like, I don't know what's going on with all the energy in the world, but it's been crazy. But it is so important because it's kind of like the bang of your, like, it's the start of your business.
Yeah,
Like,
it gets people out and
Yeah,
it gets people
exactly.
seeing.
I still
It's
have a
like
network
exciting.
party for my business.
Girl,
was 2 years ago.
the launch party.
I'm like, I passed the launch,
You're
y'all.
love it.
I gotta
I
move for
love
another
it.
launch.
You know, just have a celebratory, hey, I'm
Something.
here.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
I'm here.
And she knows.
And I love to party anyway. People are always happy. They're just so happy
Yeah.
when you're throwing a party. It doesn't matter. And that's the best part about it is people are just so happy to be there.
Yeah.
And you can really just have a good time, build
Absolutely.
relationship.
Okay, so do you have a team? Do you like outsource that?
Mhm.
Do you have it all in house? Like,
Yeah.
do you have a team working under you?
So I'll give a breakdown of the Love Gigi team and then
Yes.
kind of how we source vendors and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So I'm owner, creative director, and then my mom, Sandy, is director of operations. And then we have one more event designer, Marissa, and she's our lead event designer. So it's just 3 of us. I mean, she would be the lead because there's only 3 of us. So I gave her a fancy name. But she's awesome. So we have a really good time, just the 3 of us. It's really small, but I like to handle more of the weddings and she handles like more of the parties. She's really good at it. And I
So
just
do you guys
love the
typically
weddings.
like all work together on one
Yes.
event?
Yeah. I mean, she mostly does she's contracted work as well. So she mostly does like mood boards and comes up with concepts. And then we find the vendors and meet the clients and stuff like that. So she has a very busy schedule and a very busy lifestyle. So we just try to, she does her part and then we kind of handle it from there. But we all work together. We have meetings every week and we sit around and chat about everything.
How soon did you realize that like you needed like more help and you couldn't just do it on your own?
She actually came to us
Okay.
and I was like, hey girl, we'll take it. Like I honestly I want to expand and I really want to have like a brick and mortar one day. And I want to have like a storefront with stuff in it and like a warehouse and a workshop for my dad. But we're still so small. And
Yeah.
so, she kind of came to us and was like, hey, I love doing this. Like, would you be able to bring me onto your team? So I was like, this is what we can offer you. And she was like, perfect.
Oh,
So
that's so amazing.
kind of
I
just
love when
worked
things
out.
That
Yeah,
worked
it really
out.
just worked out.
organically.
And we think very similar. Like we have the same taste. We think a lot alike. We're very similar. So it works out perfect. Again, I would love to grow. We definitely are bringing on more and more events, but this isn't my full-time job yet. So
Okay, yeah.
yeah, so this is something like I'm always working. So this is something that, I do after work or in between or whatever. But
I love that
I
you're transparent about that too,
Mhm.
because I feel
yeah,
like a lot of people when they first start and they're in the trenches and things like that, they kind of
yeah,
like try
shy
to create
away.
this like facade that
Well,
this is
and
all they do, but like you're hustling
Kim
right now.
Kardashian said it best, get your ass up and work. And
Yeah.
it's so true.
Everyone got so
hated
mad, and I
everyone
was
hated
like,
on her. And I was sitting
I was
behind
like, but that, I mean, it's true.
yes. It's so people just don't want to work, and it's true.
Mhm.
And so I definitely think like you just have to be consistent. You have to put in your work
yes.
and know it's not going to last forever.
Well, and
I
it's
think if it
like-
was somebody who wasn't her, nobody would have been mad.
so
But
kind of going back to like teams and like building,
Mhm.
it's so amazing that you found someone organically, because I know like I personally have struggled with like it's so hard to find someone who
Mhm.
sees your vision and is like on page with you and is willing to work with you in the
Yeah.
beginning stages of your business. I feel
Right.
like so many people come in and they just want to come in when you're up on the
Yes.
mountain.
Yeah.
And it's like I've really struggled with like assistants
Mhm.
who like I'm like, you weren't with me in the trenches when I was literally
Mhm.
working 7 days a week, like till
Yeah.
10 o'clock at night.
with Nico on your back,
With my baby literally on my back, like literally,
Yeah.
like in a carrier on my
Oh
back.
my gosh.
You come here now and see that I have a business, I work 3 days a week, da da da, and just like want that.
but it
and
didn't
don't
start like
want to
that.
work
It
for
doesn't
it.
start like that.
And so I love that you were able to just find someone who sees your vision, sees your potential, and is
Mhm.
like, I want to be a part of this,
Mhm.
even though we're in the beginning.
Right.
And it shows a lot for who you are too, because
Mhm.
I'm always like, I'm a big reflector. So I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, why have I attracted these people? Like, what is
Yeah.
it about me that has like attracted these kind of people, to like switch the narrative
Mhm.
of
I was
putting
just
out.
thinking that because I feel like how we talk a lot about ideal client, maybe what she's putting out is more like catching her ideal employee.
100%. And that was something my business coach has like, what's the word?
Instilled?
Recommended me to
Okay.
do. She even sent me like an ideal like assistant, and I
Really?
never did it. And I need to.
That may be
Because I've been
it.
putting it off because I'm just like self-sabotaging, because
Yeah.
it's so like no one's
Well,
gonna care for your business like
yeah,
you do.
no.
It's
And
true.
yeah.
Well, and it's also hard. So with my other job that I have, I know we're talking about Love Gigi, but I do hire for my other job. And
Mm.
it's really hard to find because people will just say what you want to hear. And I see that with Love Gigi too. People will DM me and just be like, I want a job. But my contracted employee, Marissa, has a very large influence in Jacksonville. And so they a lot of times want to just work with her. See what I'm saying? So
like they want
yeah.
to get close and meet her.
yes, or like people will like DM me saying, "Hey Marissa, I love your business." That's happened so many times. I love Marissa dearly. And we just really value her and value the fact she's even come to us. So, we really try to cherish and respect and value her relationship not in our company as
Yeah.
well.
I have
just, like-
noticed though, when like I worked with influencers doing like wedding hair and makeup, and I noticed you get a lot of traffic from it,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, the core of what comes from that traffic still is you, your business, and how you
Mhm.
represent yourself.
Right.
Mhm.
And then that's what still continues to get you good word of mouth, good
Right.
reviews, things like that.
And that's so
Absolutely.
big in this industry is networking and
Oh
word
my
of
God,
mouth.
Yeah,
so
and I think that's
yes.
exactly what you're doing
Yeah.
with
thank
the
you.
event that you're about to throw in the fashion
Thank
show. You're
you.
creating an experience for not even just the brides that are coming, but
Yeah.
for the people in the industry, the vendors, to network with one
100%.
another.
Yeah.
You know, so I
100%.
think you're also building a community,
Yeah.
which is great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And you're 2 years in business and you're already like starting something that Jacksonville hasn't had,
Yeah.
which is
Do you mind if I
huge.
ask how old you are?
I'm 24.
Go off, girl.
Yeah, I'm 24.
We are here for it.
Yeah.
We love that. What is your favorite part of all of this?
Oh my gosh.
Like you're like everything.
Well, when I got married, I was like, I could do this every weekend. And so kind of just like having fun and partying. Growing up, I always had like little house parties and we had a fun, like not like weird or anything like that. But, like everyone was like, oh my gosh, you throw like the most fun parties or whatever. And so obviously like having a good time, because now that I'm coordinating and like day of coordinating and planning, we get to stay at the weddings and I
Yeah.
just want to dance the night away.
I
Like
love
I love
that.
it. That's just my selfish reason into it, but the business values and like truly why I do what I do is because when you hear those compliments, like it's not even that they're complimenting me. Like I don't care. But it's like, I mean, I do care, but not like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
when
Mhm.
you're standing there and like those people don't know who you are, like guests, they don't know who you are. And so like when you hear them like, "Oh, I love this. Oh my gosh, I love that. That's so creative." Or they're telling the
Aw.
bride and groom, "This is the best wedding I've ever been to." Or, "Oh my gosh, this is the best party I've ever been to." I am like, "Oh my God, like job well done. We did it." Like when we see people like just so happy with how everything turned out, that's like why
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. It fills your
Because
soul.
it does. And you just want people to be happy because those are memories that they have forever. Like that's a wedding's not something somebody's gonna forget.
Right.
So same with a party. If it's like that good, no one's gonna remember it or
And I
not forget it.
feel like, to be honest with you, that is the key to success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having a passion for
Mhm.
what you do. Of course, we all want to make money and
Yeah.
be successful, that way. But if you don't have that deep passion, if your why isn't revolved around people in some kind of way and it's just
Mhm.
revolved around you, I'm sorry,
It's not
but you're
gonna
not,
last.
no.
Mm-mm.
You
And I
might
see
have
that
a
so
little bit of
much.
like success, but like
Sure.
eventually, like
It
at the end of the
fades.
day, like people want that like connection. They
Mhm.
want that personalization.
Right.
And with being a small business, it's so important,
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
There
I
are
love
going to be
that.
the days, yeah, when you're like down in the trenches and things get hard. And I'm sure you
Mhm.
have late nights, like
Mhm.
juggling 2 jobs
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
and things like that. And like if you didn't have the true love for it,
Yeah.
I don't even know if you would be where you are right now. I don't think any of us would if we
Yeah.
weren't there.
It's
So
true.
It's what gets you through it.
It does. It's true.
if you were to say, speak to a high school version of you, what advice would you give to be where you are today?
Yeah. Ask yourselves why you're doing kind of exactly what we're talking about. Why are you doing that? You could have that as an interest, but if you're not doing it for the right reasons, you have to have passion for it because it's not going to last. If you're just here to make money, the wedding industry doesn't always make money like that. Like I
Right.
mean,
And people do think that.
they do. And
Yeah.
that's a pretty big misconception is like if I don't have an event, I'm not making money. That's with
Right.
any business. If you don't
Right.
have clients, you're not
Right.
making money.
Yeah.
So I definitely would say like ask yourself why you're doing it. And then also just to be confident in who you are, kind of how we talked about before, just like owning who you are, owning why you're different. I think there's so many times, especially here, where people just copy. And that's
Oh my God.
it infuriates me because it's like and I'm not trying to say like, oh my gosh, I work so hard, but it's like
You
But you do work
I work
hard.
so hard to create something different, create something unique to turn around and see someone copy it exact. And I think for someone starting out, yes, there's a lot of inspiration and Pinterest is amazing and local inspiration. You see people in your area and that's amazing, but make it your own. If you're going to take inspiration, but don't copy what other people are
Absolutely.
doing because you are different.
Absolutely.
And that
there's
won't
so
last.
right, and there's so many of us, so capitalize on why you are different.
Mhm.
Copying though irks me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the same
me
way.
in a different way.
I'm literally the same
Yeah.
way.
They
It
say
hurts.
imitation
It hurts.
is the biggest form of flattery.
I know. This is a whole nother conversation. Yeah.
That's another episode.
But that's the advice I would give is to just stay true to who you are.
I
Okay.
love that. Well, thank you
Yeah.
so much for joining us
course.
today.
Thank
We
you for
loved
having me.
having you on here.
I had so much.
So, just so we can kind of recap, you guys don't want to miss out on Gabby's fashion show. It's
Yes.
September 21st.
Yes.
Clay Theater. More details to come.
Yes.
So, how can people kind of keep up with the fashion show, keep up with you, keep up with like maybe they want to book an event with you?
Yep.
How can they reach you?
So follow us on Instagram, Love Gigi Events, and then our website, so lovegigievents.com. It's kind of in a reconstruction mode. So there's a little bit of our old branding and our new branding. So please ignore that. But you can inquire on our website and someone will reach back out to you shortly.
And don't worry if you missed out because we'll definitely put it in the show notes. Yeah.
Yeah. And there will be tickets available soon, but we haven't announced like date or tickets. I mean, we're talking about it, but we haven't like fully put it out there yet.
Yeah.
So
Mhm. If you enjoyed this episode with our beautiful guest, Gabby, then don't forget to follow us at blended_podcast. You can find all of our other information about any other guests, everything that Gabby has coming up. We'll be shouting some things out and things like that. But if you want to leave us a review or let us know anybody else that you want on the show, then leave us a comment or DM us.
Love you, BB.
Bye.
Thanks for being our blended babes,
AKA BBs. Join the conversation and let your voice be heard.
If you're ready for a revolution, don't forget to leave us a review wherever you're listening and follow the journey on Instagram at blended_podcast.
Share this episode with your BB who is ready to beautify the beauty industry and rewrite the standards.
Get all the tea from this episode and more in the show notes.
Bye.